upon you, beloved and holy Arpan. Beloved and holy friend, thank you for joining me. What a trip, what a pleasure to see Arpan actually working this time around. I'm like unironically surprised. I'll be back in a second. I have to go get myself some water, and it is a dancing day, so stick around. We're gonna be dancing a little bit today. I'm back in a second again. I hope the suffers will keep you company. Yeah, you just be the sweetest, patootiest. Love you. Thank you. Nice to have you here again. We love a friend. I'll read something worth saying, and then we'll get right into it. Really right. There we go. That better. I did technically want to stream in front of this tree to give it center stage, but seems my body is too big. It's fine. There's no separation after all. This one is a little bit of one of those strong ones. Man, all of them are kind of crazy. I'll read all of them. Good morning to you, Maxine. What a pleasure to see you here with us, Shannon, as well. I honor you, friends. Thank you for joining me. I'll read all of these. I think you'll like all of them. The first one goes, it is your destiny to reunite with the mind of God. It's your destiny. You are destined to reunite. You were never separate, but becoming embodied is in itself a separation. Because as soon as you're embodying something, you're automatically opting out of everything. Yes. Ninja Nanner! Corey, beloved brother. I've missed you, man. It was a pleasure seeing Eden yesterday. It's just as great seeing you. Hope you're well in this moment. Even better now that you're sharing this moment with me, Brother Bear. I'm already getting schooled by these things we're saying. And the second one goes, right where you are, practice where you are going. And read all of these, or remember all of these, so that when I share the topic for today, you can see if you can pull some synchronicities out of there as well. In the beginning, the end is already present. Kiana too? Yow! Yow! Kiana, love to you. Thank you for joining me, friend. It's so nice to have you here with us. How are you doing? How's life been treating you? How have you been treating you, Kiana? How have you been treating you? You better be taking care of my friend. I can't take care of you for you, Kiana. Even though I would like to give you food and how do you take care of someone? You give them food? I would so give you food, Kiana. I love you, friend. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the love on me. Your friends are flattering me already. Like today's things we're saying, I feel is like I'm getting to the one that I really want to read, and it's tripping me out already. In the beginning, the end is already present. After all, the beginning was still now, and the end is also now. And we are somewhere in between the beginning and the end. In the right now. Okay, yeah? Yes. Then be a beacon to all around you. That one I feel is like a good one to take to heart. Be a beacon to all around you. Also kind of related to today's topic. And then the last one is Don't waste yourself with judgment and limitation. Don't waste yourself with judgment and limitation. If you judge yourself or if you limit yourself, it's like wasting yourself. The you that you are, the embodiment of self in this moment is a temporary thing. Very temporary, in fact. And by judging yourself constantly and believing you're limited constantly, you're wasting yourself. This this self that you're embodying right now. And then lastly, what you value, you will experience. What you value, you will experience. Today's topic, I want to talk about environment, specifically environmental evolution. How the environment you find yourself in expects you sometimes, forces you sometimes to evolve in one way or another. And just how technically we have now, instead of just being victimized sometimes to our environments, we have created one for ourselves. That this thing we're doing right now technically is an environment that we've created for ourselves, you know. And if we have experienced all of these other things before, to come back into this moment to experience this, we have been through multiple different environments, and yet we brought ourselves into this one because what you value, you will experience. This is an environment that we now value. And because we value it enough to show up for it, we get to experience. What do you think about that? What do you think about environmental evolution? You know, thinking about our planet, thinking about the environment that is Mother Nature, alongside the internet revolution, right? Like we have built a new environment on top of Mother Nature that is now the internet. And we have a lot of Mother Nature encapsulated within this internet. You know, technically I, in this moment, am being a node to that as well. Right? Mother Nature, we're on the internet, Mother Nature in the internet. Right? An environment that we have created for ourselves. The internet as a whole, as an environment that we have created onto ourselves. Whew, man, I think I'm missing some Beansy, Nanner, Bonar, Bobber, Flooper, Rambo, Bambo, Flamber. Gab, Goop. Love to you. Rambler is here as well. Ha, somehow fitting message for today. My grandfather left this plane yesterday to go and be with the love of his life and all that have gone before. He has transcended into a new environment. Brother Corey. Literally. He is in a whole new environment right now. And not only is he in a new environment right now, but as a result of the environment he finds himself in, he is probably, drum roll please, expected to evolve. In the same way that we're expected to evolve moment by moment, environment by environment. What a cool thing that is to bring into this space. Rest in peace. Beloved Corey's grandpa. I do believe Eden shared his name, but I'm pulling a blank card right now. I'm trying to scroll the fractal, but the fractal is too complex for me to pull the individual name out of it. Uh, Maybe you'll tell us again, if you'd be willing to, Corey. We'd like to honor him again. More honoring of your granddad. Thank you, Brother Bay. If not for him, you wouldn't be here either. So thank you to Granddad and thank you to you for being here with us right now, friend. My thoughts are with you guys. Thank you so much for the love. Wish I could make it better, Banana. It's not bad. Gobbledygoo. It's nothing to make better because there's nothing bad. Life and death is. Life and death is right from the start. You know, as soon as you're born, you are also dying. Actually, one of the things we're saying. In the beginning, there was the end. Was it Louis? It was Louis. Maxine, thank you, friend. It was Louis. Thank you so much. honor to beloved Louis, having transcended this plane of existence. The things he must be experiencing right now, dude. Just imagine. Oh goodness, so much. He probably has experienced more than we have in our entire lives just since he's passed. Life has been a little rough recently, says Kayana. I was approached with what I thought was a love, but a jolting, but a jolting end came pretty quickly, leaving me hurt and confused, all followed up with some concerning health issues. I appreciate the love so much. Okay, Anna. I wish I could tell you how much I feel what it is you're saying right now. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Makes me worried, Anna. Like I have kind of reached a point within myself where I don't really want to believe anymore, And it's kind of a joke almost. Because the one thing I do believe in is love, but it's almost like I'm having a hard time believing in love for myself, romantic love. Not from the perspective of it's impossible, but just from the perspective of maybe it shouldn't be. Thank you. Thank you, Shan, for sending some love to Guyana. I see our beloved Bethany here as well. Goo tuning on the YouTube too. Even Jovan. There we go. I see you, friend. Just thinking about you. Gateway Process here as well. Sending so much love to you. I'm Goop Shanansky, living in the moment. Fantastic. So, Guyana. Like I've been sharing this with friends. This feeling where it's almost easier to be single. It's easier to stay in love when you're single, which is a paradox kind of in its own, right? Because you can fall so deeply in love with another person, and then as you're falling in love with this person, you feel in love, right? But you're in love with someone instead of just being in love. And I've tried to stay in love, but every single time I fall in love with someone, it both strengthens my ability to be in love with the world, but it also takes away from my ability to be in love with the world at the same time. Because I cannot expect the other person to love in the same way that I do. Maybe it's unrealistic for us to. Okay, Anna. For what it's worth, I do believe you're worthy of someone who will love you in the way that you deserve being loved. I'm sorry that you have to have a ride while finding this ideal person. But I'm sure all of these experiences aren't here to hurt you, but instead to provide an environment for you to grow. Yow! Connecting it to the topic today. An environment for you to grow, Kayana. We're gonna schmonk two different weeds at the same time today. Iced cabbage. Orange sherbet. Yes, that smells so nice. I'll be smoking for you, friend. Was it Louis? It was. Again, sending love to Louis. Greg's is joining us as well. So cool to have you here, Brother Bear. How are you doing? Thanks, God. He was ready, and he's not in any sort of suffering anymore. It's a bit of a relief to know he's at peace. He is straight up vibing right now, dude. There is nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to regret. He is. He was, and within that was, he is always. He can never cease being, right? His body might have died, but he, the man he was, the being he was in this world, the energy that he brought, will never cease being. Not only living on as you, but also living on within the infinity. That's a great job. It's a place to be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, just our friend Miss Molly would like for me to say hello to all of you friends for her. Say hello to Miss Molly too, from all of us. Love to Miss Molly. Which Molly is that? Miss of Molly's. Romantic love feels like a drug and a distraction. Maybe not in the moment, but in retrospect, I think so. And it makes me sad a little bit, gateway process, because I feel like the older I become, the more unlikely I am to find someone, which might be the wrong way to see it. Might be the other way around technically, but it's like I'm a weird person. You know, you might have noticed. Oh, Melt is weird. You don't say. And then on top of my weirdness, I was like, yeah, I'm too weird to get a partner. And that has been my reality for the last 4 years. And over the last 4 years, I have only managed to make myself more weird. So the place I was, the place I'm now, gives me less hope for finding a partner than I used to have. Uh, okay, I'm being a little bit dramatic right now. I'm just feeling with you, Kayana. I'm feeling so much with you. Like, it's kind of crazy because I've not exactly been in the same space, but kind of, kind of in the same space. Like adjacent, space adjacent. Thanks, Gab. He was ready. Okay, thank you again. His name is Louis. Honor to Louis. Thank you so much for that. Topic question: how do you think the environment will be affected / approach of the rapid advancement of AI and all the things that? Yeah, wow. I'm okay. I'm so sorry, but that is exactly the thing that I'm getting at today, Kayana. The fact that you're asking that question specifically, that's what I'm talking about. So within AI and all of these things that we're heading into, they're going to create even more environments, right? And this is technically an extension of that. I'm gonna keep doing this into the infinity, and we'll see how this space changes and how the technology around the space changes. I'm curious. I'm really curious to see how the space is going to transform going into the future. But I'm especially curious. Like, the reason I came into the stream today talking about the environment as a topic is specifically based on the internet. That we as human beings have lived in the environment of Mother Nature this whole time, up until this point of our evolution. And then us as a generation not only got to live in the environment of planet Earth, but we also got to live in the environment that is the internet. Technically living in the minds of other people. And that, what is that going to do to our evolution? What is that doing actively to our evolution? What is this environment doing to our evolution right now? And if we've seen so much change already, AI is definitely not going to slow that down. I'm looking forward to it though, Kana. I'm not worried at all. I believe we're gonna step up to the plate, evolve exactly as necessary. Maybe AI will help us evolve the issue of the planet becoming uninhabitable / unable to sustain humanity long before we'll even need to. Brother Gab, we're gonna be so fine, man. We're gonna be so fine. Hey Beansy, there needs to be a bean emoji. There's no bean emoji? How dare they? That feeling of being in love with someone comes from you, not from them. I know. I completely know. Learn to be in love with yourself to show the world the kind of love you desire. I completely agree with that, Maxine. I'm trying to do that. I do believe I am doing that. But that's the thing that I'm saying is that learn to be in love with yourself. I am. I am in love with myself to the point where I feel like I'm selfish now, where I don't want me to cheat on myself. Like if I had to. So let me give you the exact thing that's going on in my mind right now. I was doing yoga teacher training with a bunch of friends, and one of these friends had a beautiful tapestry of mushrooms, like a mushroom city, like a fairy tale esque mushroom city. And my brain is like, yeah, mm, fairy tale esque mushroom city. I like. And I sent to her, that I admire her mushroom city poster. And we start having conversation. She tells me she has a nickname, Snails. And we share this love of snails with one another. And it's something as arbitrary as that obviously gets me. Ah, love of snails. Yes. Must mean something. Must mean it. if you will. And then realizing that as soon as I convince myself that something is it, instead of always having been it, then there is this story, this archetype, this expectation, that is formed of like how you're supposed to be communicating with one another. If you're supposed to be communicating with one another at all, how often you're supposed to be communicating with one another. Na 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 na. And it's not the love that's the problem, Maxine. It's all of that. It's all of that other bullshit. That is not love. That is reaching out. That is wanting to be differently. That is believing things could be differently. Na 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 na. That part of the relationship is the thing that is kind of pushing me away from it. Not so much the love itself. The love itself, I'm always there, but the extras is what's a little bit difficult. Ice cabbage, we call weed jazz cabbage sometimes here. I mean, ice cabbage, jazz cabbage, whatever you want to call it, as long as it makes you higher. Yeah, ice cabbage is the strain. I got the seeds from a friend. Well said. Thank you, Jumpin' Jack, for sending that love back. I'm getting over shingles. Shingles, like the skin condition. Candid Tea Party. I'm getting cold. Looks like a normal number, but I cannot answer you right now, friend. Thanks, Beans. I'm really trying hard on this. I'm trying to radiate love within and without myself, no matter how much yuck I'm feeling. I appreciate that you say that. Thank you, friend. You're the one that's feeling it, after all, Kiana. Melt, I absolutely feel that feeling too. I'm currently going through weighing out if it's better to live out love only in my head and not in the physical world to protect myself. Yeah, I'm there too, Kiana. And it sucks ass! Sucks fucking ass. We don't want to think about stuff like this. You know? It's difficult enough being a human being. Love should be easy. Love should be easy. Maybe that's the thing that we should look forward to, Kiana. Is that the reason we're feeling so adverse right now is because it hasn't been right just yet. And when it is right, it will be really, really right. We won't have to want to protect ourselves because that want for protection will melt away. We'll actually have the luxury, the honor of truly surrendering. At least that's what I believe. That's what I'm gonna try to believe. Damn, dude, you're so chill and thoughtful. You'd find a great partner. Thank you, Candid Tea Party. Thank you. I I do believe you. I do believe you. I just don't know if it will be anytime soon. And I'm a little bit of a romantic myself. We have these ideas in our heads of how things could be, how things should be. And one of the ideas I had in my head is to be able to be with someone and build something with them. To create a life. But I'm running out of time. Like the life I want to live has now been created. Now I won't get to have someone. I get to have all of you friends though. That's the trip. That really is the trip. But I don't need what I was thinking of as a relationship because I'm taken care of in the way that a relationship even couldn't. There's so much love, there's so much security, certainty, right? We can't cheat on one another either. You can do whatever you want to, and I can do whatever I want to. And then we can come back into the space and share love with one another, having no expectations, of each other's individuals. It's a different type of love. It's a love in unity instead of a love in physicality. And it allows me, at least in my opinion, some freedom. Oh man, my mind. I wasn't signing up for all of these thoughts, Maxine, but here we are, feeling them together, aren't we? I'm gonna read your comment right now, Gateway. I think I missed a few more of them. Goodness. Which one is that? Romantic love feels like a drug. You're so right again. Same and even older than you, lol. Gateway process. I feel you, friend. Oh goodness. Seems we're at least, going through it together. And I've shared this with some friends before, but I believe us showing up in this space, we'll be able to find people that we resonate with. As this space continues to grow, people will be attracted to this space that are like-minded, like us, if you will, and we'll be able to vibrate, resonate with them a little bit better. You're 24, you're hardly too old to hang it up. Joy Vive, I think it helped not sleeping with people over the last 4 years. That definitely, it's been more than 4 years. That crying scene. You know exactly what crying scene. That exactly that crying scene is happening inside of me right now. Yeah, it definitely helped not being romantic with anyone over the last 4 years because I got to reach a point where I realized that there was nothing there for me. That over the last 4 years, I got to experience fullness and lack all within self. Not needing a partner, not needing someone outside of myself to provide anything. Oh, Joy Vive, I don't want to give up. You know how I am. It's just my heart is tired. It doesn't want to get involved. I feel you, Mel. I've managed to get weirder in the years I've spent being not social. Exactly, Shad. It's concerning. I had a psychic name my previous soulmate. They say we have three, and she was right. She said the third and final one will come in time and will know right away. That comforts me. Mm, I like that. They will know right away. There will be no hesitation. There will be no fear. People are scared of loving me, friend. I wonder why. I think it's balance. I think the fear comes from balance. We have this thing inside our heads about balance, where if someone does more than we do in any particular way, especially in relationships, we feel unbalanced and indebted and lacking, less than, and creates a sense of fear that if this is the way that it is, then surely this person is gonna leave me or no longer think about me as an ideal partner if I'm not this, this, and that. Oh man, now I'm struggling here with you. We're processing, okay, and I'm feeling the things. It's been 34 minutes since I've packed this bong and I haven't touched it. Yo, skibbity bow skiblam. It's kind of cold. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm wearing two pairs of pants. I thought it was gonna be a bad idea for the dance, but goodness, now I feel like I have to dance. I had a woman in India tell me that Buddha would bless me with a partner. That was 3 years ago. I'm still waiting. Freaking Buddha. What's up, dude? Come on, man. I mean, that's kind of trippy. And you know what? I'm not gonna dive too deep into that one. I think you already have diving deep enough, Jovi. In time. In time, friend. We'll all have our ideal partners. To having our ideal partners. We're talking about environment today. Technically, all of our partners are in this environment with us. How about that? Huh? Technically, they are. They're breathing the same air as we are right now. So, to my, to the lack of, or to the future of my partner. Yes. Blessing the lack of a partner too. Yes, sir. Those partners be blessed. Damn. Suddenly, all of them became millionaires. I see this time as enjoying my solitude before I'm partnered up for theoretically the rest of my life. I like that gateway process. I don't really worry about being partnered up for the rest of my life in a conceptual, I'm gonna be trapped way. Or at least I haven't thought about it in that way until now. We're not separate. That's the thing that's coming to my mind. Gateway process. We've never been separate. And I feel this mindset of you have to be with someone for the rest of your life, otherwise it's not a ideal relationship or partnership, I think is also something that needs to be addressed. We'll see how the future turns out. Maybe I'll have to learn for myself. Tripping out just thinking about it. Whew. I know if I am to be with someone, it needs to be with someone that understands I need to be able to share love with everyone. That was the biggest problem in my last relationship. Mm. Like if someone believes they have less when you give to others, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. And that's the thing with a lot of people. And it's fundamentally selfish. And in this moment, I'm not even thinking about romantic love, and I'm sure you don't either, Shan. But just being able to reach out to someone, spend some time with someone, to give someone that reach out, that time, and then if you're with a partner that sees you reaching out, spending time with someone else, as you not reaching out to them slash not spending time with them as a deliberate thing, yeah, then suddenly you have a warden, not a partner. And Nietzsche Nansky, love is not selfish. There we go. You said it too, Jovi. So in tune, friend. Always. I see you. Just be you, embrace the weird bits. Being anything other than that won't be the right person to you, won't bring the right person to you. Once you decide that you want to be with someone, just focus on the things that you do want in a partner, not the things that you don't. Beautiful point. Very beautiful point. What do I want in a partner? The first thing that came to my mind is someone intelligent, which is also such a stupid thing. Why do I want someone intelligent? And my mind is like, oh, I want to be able to conversate. I want to say words. And then David Data comes to me. He wrote this book, The Way of the Superior Man. And he titled the book that way, but it can be read by anyone that has a partnership with anyone else. But within this existence, there is masculine and feminine energy. Not necessarily men and women, but masculine and feminine energy. And men and women are but representations, embodiments of that energy on a fundamental level. And he shared something that was really interesting. And it's something that I still kind of don't want to believe, slash, has a hard time believing. Where he states the person that you will be most sexually attracted to will turn you off in all of the other parts of your life, and vice versa. And I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to believe that, one, or if there is some sort of truth there. I've noticed in ways some sort of truth there. Duality. Duality within duality, within duality, within duality. The freaking infinities everywhere. Exactly, that made me feel badly for sharing love with others, and it hurt. You don't deserve to be hurt, ever, friend. You deserve to love in all means of the word. Love yourself, love one another. Tuna partner. Thank you again, Brother Corey. I couldn't agree more, friend. I mean, I'll take your advice. You have a wife and kid, so you clearly know what you're talking about. Finding someone by looking for what I want in someone, not what I don't want in someone. I'd rather chill with you or people like you than your average person any day of the week. You're not weird, Mel. Personally, people who can show love like you should be the norm. Your gal is out there, Mel. She just is. Somewhere. Somewhere. I think about what she does sometimes. Hmm. She's happy, you know. Maybe that's the point. She's there somewhere, but she's happy. So clearly, she should not be here right now. Because I can create stories and interactions in my head that make me happy, I can make up these stories that bring a smile to my face. Mm. I feel you can, huh? Like I really do. I just, I don't want to see us robbing ourselves of experiences worth having. And Brother Corey says, people ask why I care so much about the environment. I simply tell them we live in the environment. If you don't take care of where we live, it won't be a nice place for the future generations. Just imagine the amount of disconnect, dude, where people don't realize you are the environment. You are the environment. Right now, you are exhaling carbon dioxide, inhaling oxygen molecules. You are contributing to the environment. The plants around you will reabsorb that carbon dioxide that you're exhaling, turn it back into oxygen, and then during that process, use sunlight to either merge or snap off ATP molecules. And then from that process of energy production, build sugars out of your breath and sunlight. You are part of the environment, and I believe that completely, brother. Like if we can as a collective expand our egos enough, like we don't have to expand it all around the earth. I have tried to, expand my ego. I like to expand my ego all the way to the Jupiter line, and I have a painting of Jupiter in my window, in my room that looks like a window, like a spaceship window onto Jupiter, kind of close to Jupiter. So I like to imagine the the ego field of this is myself kind of imagination extending all the way to Jupiter. That way, everything inside of that ego self is an affront if it gets hurt, right? So if someone starts sawing down a tree, that hurts my soul, hurts me because I see that as self, as myself, as a part of my ego, right? Like ego isn't the problem. A small ego is the problem, and it's small in the context where it wants to convince others it is large, right? And then there is the opposite where it's so large it doesn't have to convince you of anything because you cannot make it small, right? To expand our egos in a way where it encapsulates our earth, our families, our work, in a way that instead of identifying with them, we see them as part of ourselves. And because they're part of ourselves, we love them and take care of them as parts of ourselves. The way we cut our own nails, brush our own teeth, comb our own hair, take showers. And within humanity, within certain environments, it is hard to do those things too. It's hard to take care of just this self. So it makes perfect sense that we've had a hard time taking care of the larger self as well. Brother Corey, we're taking steps in the right direction, man. Your little fruit cup is going to do good for us too. I'm going through the same patterns of thought, but self-care is not selfish. I had to relearn how to love myself through different stages of my life. It's a strange balance. So you think I'll forget again, Maxine? Challenge accepted. Forget how to love self, re-remember how to love self, then forget again, and then re-remember. I feel I've only been getting better at it though. I'm still like failing from time to time, but I'm getting better. Hello, Deep. D Birch Music. Hello to you, friend. You're joining us all the way in South Africa. How are you feeling, friend? I know. I know. If I am to be of some, I can go with one. That's all fish. There we go. Love to you, friend. It's nice to have you here with us. How are you doing? How's Chicago? Is it hot there right now? Like I heard Chicago gets pretty cold. It's kind of cold here right now. Are you still talking to snails? I talk to snails all the time, Greg. You don't? Have you listened to the snails, dude? They have some crazy wisdoms, man. Such crazy wisdoms. They have the golden ratio built into their body. They know shit, dude. They really know shit. They know some shit. Oh goodness, what am I getting goosebumps for? It's not that. I mean, it's a little bit cold, but it's not goosebumps cold. mm, I usually simplify it like that makes them go, oh shit, never thought of it like that. It's like people get that we live in the environment, forget that we live in the environment. True. It's like you know when you go outside. Actually, not even you don't even have to go outside. You know how you're breathing atmosphere right now? They're like, yeah, yeah, that's environment. What do you mean? The atmosphere is a result of our environment. Ah, yeah. So everything, everywhere, is always being influenced by the environment because you're breathing it actively, breathing into it actively, contributing to the environment. I just imagine for a second exhaling pure DMT for some reason instead of exhaling carbon dioxide and nitrogen, just DMT, put it back to the environment. This daily dose of positivity and harmonious fellowship has created a beautiful space in my existence. This gathering is like an oasis in my world. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone here. Jumping Jack Jumanji. I appreciate you, friend. Thank you for joining us in this environment. A co created environment that is free from a lot of the restrictions we might face in this environment. But because we are starting to build in this environment, because we're starting to grow in this environment, it will allow us the skills and the resources to grow and creative in this environment as well. All of the environments. I came for the hippie, stayed for the love. Corey, love you, friend. Melty, your Allison Gray is out there somewhere, bud. Allison Gray? Oh, yes. Like that's that. Yo, now I'm gonna start crying. No, I'm not. I won't stop crying. Like I felt my brain, like starting all of the sequences, all of the fractals of like, oh, we're gonna cry, are we? It starts turning all of the switches, and I'm like, no, fam, please, not right now. And they're like, oh, man, no crying. No, damn it, it's not that sad. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you. To you friends who don't know who Allison Gray is, my yeah, I think I can say this. My favorite artist is a guy called Alex Gray. And Alex, what a character. Oh goodness. Like listening to his story, the stuff that he was up to as a young man, he shaved the hat. He shaved hat. Like this is one of the craziest stories about Alex Gray to me. And it really kind of gives you an insight into the type of person he was. But he shaves half of his head and he has long hair. Like he looked kind of like Lane as a young man, very much like Lane as a young man, but half of his head shaved. So long hair on this side, and then a completely shaved head on this side. And then he took pictures of himself. Then he printed these pictures out of a caption, "Have you seen this man?" And then he walked around his city giving out posters of himself looking the way that he does, half shaven head, half long hair, asking people, "Have you seen this man?" Like just I don't know if it's a social experiment, kind of like seeing how people would react, seeing how he would react. And then he tells this story about how he went to this party and he took LSD and he met Allison, the love of his life, and they fell madly in love with one another that night, and they were together ever since. To this day, they're still together and they've been making art together. Like that part specifically is the one that messes me up the most. They've been making art this whole time. They've made such beautiful things. It's truly breathtaking. They had this, I don't know if you saw it, but I feel you might have, Maxine. They had this whole podcast about relationships, where it was Alex Gray and Allison, and it was crazy. It felt like the universe opening up to a new way of existence. Watching that podcast, I was like, the universe is love is true, and I'm melting. All of it was beautiful. Thank you for saying something like that, Maxine. Michael Ewan Madden. Vegetarianism is a good start. Local organic is a good step too. Thank you for the encouragement, friend. Fortunately, all of the food I eat is local and organic. I live like in a farmer's town. I appreciate you encouraging that. Grateful for your juju. Grateful for yous too. I appreciate you, Gabby. My ex and I were drawn together like magnets. I wasn't looking for anything, but the universe had other plans. When you're not looking, it comes to you. You see, unfortunately, I'm extremely vigilant, Maxine. I'm I'm uncomfortably vigilant. I'm so vigilant I don't allow myself certain things. You're like, the fuck are you talking about, Melt? I'm saying that I'm way too over analytical to the point where if one thing doesn't make sense to me, I'll say no. I'll be like, no. I've said no way more times in my life than I actually like to admit. And I got to share this story with a friend today. Like it's so surreal reflecting back on these stories because they feel almost like anecdotes of a movie or something like that. But there was this moment where I was at a festival. It was extremely hot. I was shirtless. I had a scarf around me. I had long pants, like these white and blue dotted pants, and I was standing underneath like a misting sprayer at the dance floor. So I'm like drenched in water, and I'm just dancing. And I see these two women in the dance floor looking at me dancing, and I'm just like, and then I see them walking up to me, and they're standing in front of me, right in this mist now, and they're dancing in front of me, and they're looking back to see if I'm looking at them, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? So I close my eyes. I close my eyes and I keep dancing until they went away. Until they went away. They didn't like that. they, they really didn't like that. But what can I do? What can I do when I don't want to do something? Other than not do it. You know. that's it's almost a joke, but that's really how the environment works. Your inner environment, the outer environment, always in flux. But they have to sync up for things to be right, I guess. They will be though. Maxine, thank you. Thank you for sharing your anecdote as well. But I keep telling myself, in time, in time, in time. I feel I feel for you though. Because even though we know it's gonna take time, we so desperately want it to be now. You know, especially when we connect with someone and we feel like it could be. We really want it to be. We're like, oh, come on. It has to. Like I've waited, right? I've believed so long that it will take time, and it's taken time. So all of that time it's taken must have been the time it would take. And then the universe is like, nah, fam, you need to learn some more things, apparently. Non attachment seems to be the thing I need to be learning. The universe is like, yeah, clearly you don't know jack shit. How about I? Oh, please, universe. No, I'm loving you. This is out of love. I like understand. I'm paying attention. No, you're still sleeping, fam. Technically, just in a dream, getting slapped, and then technically in the actual reality, the universe is like gently giving you forehead kisses, but you're convincing yourself that you're separate, and the universe is slapping you. Is this mind trip translating? I hope so. I'm willing to do a rent a partner program if anyone is interested. You know what? Sign me up. Aunt Bean. I would love to have Uncle Becky as a partner for a day. sounds like an absolute win to me. You know, I don't think we'd be kissing one another, but we would probably eat mushrooms together and stare intently into each other's eyes. Shows me way to there's my way to the front. Maxine's like, yeah. Okay, fine. You can have the first spot, Maxine. I wanna, I wanna poke Smart. Oh, you wanna poke some Smart? What's keeping you from poking Smart? I was thinking about you again today, Gob. When I made the decision, like I make an active slash intentional decision to smoke weed on stream or not every single day, where I ask myself, am I gonna smoke weed? And then I'm like, yeah, yeah. And today, upon saying yeah, I was thinking about you and thinking about you not smoking, and I was like, yes, Gob is actually a gangster. Maybe I should start smoking as well. You know, I don't want to be outdone by Gob. And then I thought to myself, but Gob, if you're here to experience the human experience, right? And you know that you have to experience all of the human experience regardless. You cannot stop experiencing the human experience because if you stop right now, before it's your time, you'll just have to come back and do it again. So, within this human experience that you're here to experience, what is it that you feel stops you from smoking weed? You know, and this is not me trying to convince you to smoke weed again. I'm like really trying to see into the depth of the gob nugget. If you're willing to share, though, brother Bam, I bonk all of you, bonk, bonk, bonk. Why are we? So you're just getting a horny bonk. I actually not see it. As long as there's balance in time with your partner and your friends, then there shouldn't be any issue. Love isn't controlling. Love isn't possessive. Love isn't attached. Love is. It just is. You know, it doesn't expect. It just is. Intelligent. You want someone who will challenge you and help you continue to grow. Yes, exactly that. I would like ideally someone more intelligent than I am. I want to feel stupid in comparison to her, and then I'm like, yes, I need to learn more, and then I get even smarter, and then I get smarter, but she also got smarter, so she's still more smart than I am, and then she's like, nah, stupid, try again, and then I'm like, ah. Thank you, Corey, for that beautiful translation of what I'm feeling, friend. I see you. Thank you for seeing me. Kiana says, I think we are only trapped if we are not with a person that we can be realistically happy and realistically content with for all the years to come. Feelings wave in and out. To stay in and honor love is a decision we make. Mm. To stay in love is a decision we make. It's all the decisions we make, right? Very beautiful point. Thank you, Kayana. Staying in love is all the decisions you make. Yeah, yeah. That one is going in the book of things worth saying. I haven't done one in a while. That one just feels like, yo, power. Staying in love is all the decisions you make. Yasi Bobasi. Wabi Bobabi, it's cold. Staying in love's old decision you make. Whew. Thank you for making the decision, Kayana. To stay in love. Literally the badass painting of Jupiter. Jojada, thank you. I felt that way as well upon seeing it the first time, Maxine. I was like, straight up choking on my spit. So beautiful. Why only to Jupiter? Why not to Uranus? Like it's either Jupiter or like past space and time encapsulizing. It's just either completely everything or Jupiter with an imagination. Uranus is a little bit far away, friend, and I cannot picture it actively. I haven't seen Uranus that just yet. Hopefully not. Man, Monkey Ulele. Monkey Ulele. It's a cool username though. My ego reaches all the way to Uranus. What was that? Freaking monk, can't do that, yo. Please stop reaching for my. For Uranus. Uranus as a funky. I think it would actually. Doesn't it have like high sulfur content as well? So it probably would have a funky smell. Jumpin says being in a relationship in any form is a place to be spiritually fed. Learning to spiritually feed yourself is equally valuable. Coexistence and codependence are just apart at all times. It's fun being social creatures. Hmm. Yes, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I just think it's gonna take me some more time jumping to find the creature I want to be social with, I guess. Me over here, like, yeah, it's fun. Kaya not dragging herself out of the battlefield. It's fun. It's so fun. Yeah, I'm totally going back soon. Oh goodness, no tears, friend. I see you. So much love. Thank you. Maxine says the reason why Alex Ray shaved half his head is because he had a dream about it being so wild. Exactly. Listening to his intuition. When they took LSD together, they both saw the beautiful gray light that Alex changed his last name to Gray. Yep, I didn't know they had a relationship podcast. Oh goodness, Maxine, you would love it. Go and search Alex Gray and Allison Gray talk about love or something like that. I think it's like episode 44 or something like that. It was trippy. It was beautiful. Have you seen his performance art? I haven't actually. He does performance art as well, as in he does ceremonies. I'm curious as well, Maxine. Hypervigilance is a hard road sometimes. Oh yes, it has kept me. I feel myself calling myself out before I even finish my own sentence. But I believe it kept me safe. But then at the same time, my my awareness is like, what does safe even mean, dude? What does safe even mean? If I got taken advantage of, would that not be safe? Would that make me less? It would still be an experience worth having. So I feel my hypervigilance just comes from an unwillingness to be bullshit. Like I try to be as authentic as I possibly can. And if I detect anything less than authenticity, I despise it almost. I deny it completely. I had the pleasure of watching them do a live painting together once with live music and light show. Even met his shaman. Whew, you did, Aunt B. Like I look forward. I believe that I'm going to get to meet those people too one day. at the manifestation ceremony. Right? How cool is that? Maxine, I would die of happiness, Booper. Feel you, bro. Feel you too. Thank you, Real Tomato, for tuning in, friend. Nothing to see here. Don't laugh at my pain, dude. Don't you uh, dare laugh at my pain or my burps. Don't you? I just said don't. I was very cool experience watching Thievery Corporation. It was a highlight for sure. That's an interesting username or name as well. Thievery Corporation. I thought Aunt B was talking about renting her goats out as a partner, Lamal. Whatever those birds are saying is exactly what I wanted to say. I don't want to smoke weed because it becomes habit. I become lazy. I'm more active and likely to accomplish things and goals when sober. You see, that's the thing I'm asking, Gab. What goals? What things are you not accomplishing when you're smoking weed? Do you think looking back at your life, no matter how accomplished you are, because you're gonna be accomplished, Gab. Like I see a Gab that smoked weed on his deathbed, you know, like a Chong character almost. What's up, dude? Smokes a joint of his great 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 grandkid as he's dying. You know, 5,000-year-old God smokes his last joint. Man, fucking did so much. If only I didn't smoke weed, I would have done more. Oh God, like I'm really feeling into this because I have the exact same thing in me. That exactly. You know what? I want to stop smoking weed. I want to stop smoking weed so that I can get more certifications. How's that for a trip? I'm like, yes, I'm gonna smoke less weed, and that would mean I would get my certifications even faster. I've been running like a bunch of courses and just getting random ass certifications, teaching myself random shit. But yeah, just because, And I'm like, yeah, I'll stop smoking weed, and then I'll get 2 certifications a week, and then I'll get 3. Why? What are we rushing towards? What are we going to miss out on? Are we going to really be able to do so much less that it's going to be that much of a burden? I feel almost, weirdly enough, Gob, that I would rather keep smoking weed and achieve slower. And this is now maybe this version of myself speaking, and I'll be this version of myself later, and I'll be like, I need to stop smoking weed. Right? So, but this version of myself is like, yeah, I would rather accomplish things slower and smoke weed while doing so than accomplish things faster and be completely sober during that from the perspective of doing it fast. Because doing it fast, the only reason I want to do it fast is to be able to help other people even quicker. But I'm gonna help people in a matter of time, right? But it's always gonna be a matter of time, whether I stop smoking weed right now or not. It's still gonna be a matter of time. Is the trip I'm going through making sense to you, God? I feel like you might be going through it too, friend. I hope that you're willing to teach me what you've learned. Cry if you want to. Thank you, Joy V. It's your party. You can cry if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Love to you, Fred. It's nice to see you too. Thank you for joining us. Don't worry about the carrot. I won't. You need to be more specific, Melty. Lots of ways to be intelligent. What if she could build you a house but wasn't well read? I would just sit and watch Joy Vive. Just in awe. I'd probably help as well, but I would just sit in awe. So beautiful. Look at her building a house. Like I'm imagining her as an architect in this moment, so just like in a virtual environment constructing this gorgeous, work of art that you get to live in. So I'm not really picky, Joy V, to be completely honest. Don't worry about the carrot. Yeah, that's a good one to say actually. Don't worry about the carrot. Intelligence is but a carrot. Yeah. Expectation, a disappointment. Back and forth, back and forth. I should just expect nothing at all. Pulled a card for you, Melty. I'll post it in Discord. It is a right on the money. I'm curious now, actually. I stopped smoking weed a year ago, and it was a really good decision for me. There we go, gateway process. Thank you for sharing your anecdote as well. Like, can you tell me why? Is it because you're getting more done? Is it because you're experiencing a certain sense of clarity throughout your day that is beneficial to you? Is it because you had a pattern in smoking and you felt like that pattern wasn't serving you? Something that I'd like to add, my weed usage comes from a place of intention as well, right? So I honestly believe I'm doing magic when I'm smoking weed, and it's my world, my hippie perspective. But with the intentions I set for the weed I smoke, I honestly don't even believe it's the weed making me high anymore. I believe it's the intention making me high. The weed is just a carrier for the intention on a fundamental level. So, kind of extrapolating back from that, I also grow my own plants, which means I have essentially an infinite weed resource. You know, I still have weed in jars from like 4 years ago. That's why I keep inviting new friends over. I need someone to help me smoke the weed we have. Please come and help. I need help, please. I'm joking. Okay, but anyway, like the point I'm trying to make is I'm not hurting myself financially with my weed smoking, and I haven't abandoned my responsibilities slash commitments with my weed smoking. So even though I do smoke weed, and even though it can make me a little bit lazier, I haven't been lazy. Not in what I think of as lazy. Is that if that makes any sense? Na, 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 na. I will take my weed from my cold. You will take my weed from my cold dead fingers. Gripping the weed with a smile, dying, gripping the weed with a smile on your face, knowing that you have not let go of it. I didn't smoke much at all for like 2 years. Now I smoke weed again, and everything's the same. I'm just baked. Oh, Eden, you are present still within that bakedness. You know, it's still an experience worth having. These birds are like in my brain right now. They're basically driving. Eden, so much love to you. Corey joined us a little bit earlier. We've been sending so much love to him. What a pleasure it is to send some love to you too. I smoke to relax. I'll smoke to that. Let's melt more a little bit. Melt a little bit, dude. That's some good Ermias blur. Maybe in the beginning of his career, he did lots of interesting performance art projects. I have never seen any of them, but I have heard him talking about them. Rambler, now we need to see something, dude. I'm gonna probably gonna Google and see if he did actually post any of those performance arts. It was a long process. I started when I started having panic attacks out of nowhere. I've had such beautiful moments smoking with poetry and nature, but I realized I have those moments without it. There we go. Me too, gateway process. Weirdly enough, meditation, those moments in nature, as you mentioned, has never ceased being beautiful. Have never ceased being that moment. Weirdly enough, weed makes technology better for me than anything. Like nature, weed can make nature better, surely. But it's almost like weed is a bridge for me to the technological realm more than it is to the physical realm. And I'm saying technology kind of woo woo, Ellie, as technology, as ideas within divine mind, the weed itself technically being a technology produced by a plant that makes you stoned. That is what I'm saying. My life is still productive. I'm just stoned while getting stuff done instead of not being stoned. Exactly, Eden. Washing the dishes. Still washing the dishes, but now. Mm, 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 mm. Dishwashing. Washing dishes. Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. I mean, washing dishes. Listening to music and washing dishes while stoned. Straight up vibes. Straight up vibes. Instead of just being washing dishes, now stoned washing dishes. I feel the same way about alcohol, Gateway. Alcohol, I have resistance to just because we know how bad it is for our bodies. Smoking definitely isn't great, but the actual molecule that you're smoking doesn't have as many drawbacks. And then of course the quantity. You know, if I had to smoke a bottle of beer, that would be concerning. That amount of volume would be unsustainable. Let's say it that way. It is also super unproductive with it, but power to everyone who has a good relationship with it. Weirdly enough, my favorite thing to do with weed is to smoke weed and then work out because I can push myself. I can push myself like a machine when I work out stone. Also, I like the analogy of climbing the stairs versus taking the elevator. That's how I view my sobriety. Okay. Do you do breath work? Gateway process? Like I'm curious. If you think of it like taking stairs, breath work is literally those stairs. It's like stare, 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 and then you hold your breath when you're on a floor, and then you start breathing again, and you take stairs again, going a little bit higher on the building. So I'm curious. It's about 10 years ago. I went through hypnotherapy and learned how to get high off my own brain, and it's awesome. Lucky you, Gateway Process. You'll have to teach us that stuff when you can one day. I'm looking forward to learning that trick as well. That sounds cool, Gateway. It does. All right, getting high in your own brain. I mean, it's not working. Weirdly enough. What the fuck? I mean, oh golly, what have I done? It was like the trees became a little bit more beautiful. Maybe it was because I was thinking about what it was like to be high, and then I was like, being high usually comes with extreme appreciation for nature. And then I was like, yes. And then I had extreme appreciation for nature, almost like I was high. I'm familiar with breath work. Fantastic. Like breath work has been the highest I've been in my life. Like no substance has even come close to giving me an experience in the way that just breathing has. Uh yes, Uranus. I'm like, there we go. All of that freaking sulfur, dude. Hey yo, mateys. Hey, it was insane. Oi, oi, oi to you too, friend. I be chilling, son. Who said otherwise? I'll fight him. Point him out. Hmm. Climate change. Climate change said that you ain't chilling. It's insane. What's up, dude? Get him. Go get him. Go get that. Go get that climate change. Sensei, love to you, bro. It's nice to have you here, Simon. Even a Slav. A Slav down under. Isn't it time for you to be sleeping? Huh? Oh, yeah? I feel so high right now. What's wrong with me? I need to be breathing properly. Need to remember I am, in fact, human on Earth. Yeah. So they've told me. I'm sitting right now. Gravity is holding me down. There's a sun shining light. It's not working. All of these grounding exercises are failing me. Friends, help. Please help. I can see an old Gabi Bowabi sitting in an electric scooter with his huskies pulling him as he laughs manically with a joint in one hand and a paintbrush in the other. That's even more beautiful. Right, Gob? Maybe if you're gonna get blazed, dude, Get blazed with the intention of painting. Make it trick yourself, you know, bamboozle yourself. Be like, I'll smoke weed, but if I'm gonna smoke weed, I have to spend at least 30 minutes painting. And then you smoke your weed and you spend your 30 minutes painting, and then you see if you want to continue or if you want to go and do something else. But then every single time you smoke weed, you inadvertently are more productive. Mhm. Hacks? Way to bamboozle? Way to wobby boo bobby yourself? Just leaving a trail of paint that the huskies pull them around on fences, cars, and people faces. Yes. Just unstoppable. Now suddenly these huskies, they went from being cute little husky-esque huskies to hellhound-esque huskies. You know, the size of bulldozers. Just running through buildings. Gob the unstoppable. You are already helping people. Thank you, Jumpin. I want to do more. You won't believe. But for some reason, I want to do even more. Thank you for reminding me that I'm already doing enough. Whew, I need that sometimes, friend. Know that that's the same for you. You're seeing it too because it's in you, friend. I feel the same way, bro. I had a hard time graduating college, so I put down the bong in January, and now it's been 8 months. How's the difference been? Hold the door, hold the door, and also, what was your pattern like? Was it like an all day, every day kind of thing? I'm curious, like the reason I'm asking is I'm curious about the use pattern before complete stopping. Because more often than not, people that stop completely are people that was like really going a little bit too hard, you know, starting early in the morning, smoking again at 10, again at 12, again at 2, again at 4, again at 6, and then like 3 times from 8 until 9, 6 times from 9 until 10 until you pass out eventually, right? Like I don't think I've ever gotten to that point, but most of the friends that I know that completely stopped smoking had like use patterns like that where they were completely on the one side, and in the way that they found themselves completely on the one side because of who they are, their personality, they had to switch over completely to the other side to balance themselves out. Don't stop, never get enough. If you want to get up, it's time to get rough. Damn, 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 damn. I don't know if that's a song by Yana, but I'm vibing to it, friend. My hypnotist was transferring an addiction to painkillers for my own brain to produce. It's the same high. It's incredible. And I highly recommend hypnosis to everyone, especially since the community is super open and probably very susceptible to hypnosis. Uh, like the only reason I wouldn't just be like, yeah, what our beloved friend Gateway Process is saying is true, is because I am again in this vein of hypervigilance, extremely vigilant against getting hypnotized. You know, so I feel if there has to be hypnosis, especially within this community, it should only be done from a place of extreme, you know. And then whatever you imagined when I said extreme, extremify that extreme. And then like Wabi Bo Bobby, the extremified extreme to extremities. And then you would know how much you have to trust someone. Like I cannot even imagine having someone I don't trust hypnotize me. I would come out, you know, just straight up melting the world or something. I'm scared. I'm scared. You know, like I would unironically not be surprised if my subconscious is hiding parts of myself from me because the self I am right now wouldn't be ready for the self I am to be. You know, I need to become slowly, I need to hypnotize myself, if you will, slowly and surely, pulling myself out of the illusion of separation. Guess you could say you have high intentions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm coming over. Thank you. Please, love, come, Fred. You've been invited multiple times for me and the Moni. There we go. Yeah, get up. On a scale of 1 to 10, you are on the charts, sister. I don't exactly know what that means, but it feels like love. Meltmore is a ganja farmer deep down in the earth, where he puts his ganja. Babylon cometh, light up in upon fire. In me and the chant, yes, in a ganja blunter. Call him the ganja farm. I didn't like. I was tuning more and more into it since then as I was getting into your text, brother man. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, I mean I don't consider myself a ganja farmer, but I do have ganja plants growing right now. So technically, you're not wrong. Speaking of Uranus, I think some of your ideas come straight from there. I wouldn't be surprised, friend. I mean, Uranus is technically constantly influencing us. You know, it has mass. It's reflecting light back from our star onto our planet. It does technically, give us stuff. So maybe some of my ideas is coming straight from Uranus. Straight from him. Like, I'm kind of like leaning into this way of pronouncing it, and I could have kind of ruined the whole joke with the way that I actually say the word as Uranus. It's Uranus. That's how I said it in China as well. That's how we were told to teach it to the kids. It's Uranus, not Uranus. Uranus. I've been smoking weed for 18 years. Makes me productive, but I only smoke hybrid. I rarely smoke indica unless I'm in deep pain. Does it help with the deep pain? And the fact that you didn't mention sativa at all, do you not like the swang? It comes with that experience. Lol. I'm happy you're having a good time, Trash. I should roll a J with Meltmore, yay or nay? Yes. I'm 100% yay on this one. 15-year weed smoker here. I feel I focused on weed instead of fighting day in and day out to accomplish a goal that will improve my life, e.g., making more money with a real career. I feel that being a stoner gave me anxiety about adulting good. Yo, friend, that message you just sent, I feel, is so beautifully encapsulating of today's topic as well. You know, we were sharing today about how we evolve with our environments, and you as a being grew up, if you will, you became older and older and older. And then this version of yourself was literally a different environment. You as an older person, you're still the same awareness, the same awareness that was smoking the weed for those 15 years. But now that awareness finds itself within a different time, within a different space, with different responsibilities, with different people looking at you, with a different age, with a different mindset. And because of that environmental shift, you evolved in a way where you took it upon you to cut weed out so that you can be more productive. But and I see you fully for your process, and I'm not making less of it at all. The question that's coming up in reading your comment is improve my life, is the words you said, or accomplish a goal that would improve my life. And then the goal you want to accomplish to improve your life, the first thing you say is making more money with a real career. A lot of people have done that, friend. A lot of people have made more money with a real career. And not many of them have been also happy just doing that. What we've encouraged in this space more than anything is to find what makes you happy and to show up for that. You know, if making art in paintings makes you happy, show up for it. If writing poetry makes you happy, show up for it. Making music makes you happy, show up for it. rendering 3D models, live streaming. Oh, show up for that, because I believe that is how you accomplish the improvement of life as a goal, not in making more money with a real career. I could have had a real career working as a teacher right now, earning significantly more money than I am right now. I could have worked as a sales consultant for an AV company as I was, making even more money than I would in the previous example. But those weren't the real careers that I needed to live. They didn't improve or give me any accomplishment within life. Hello, Sisa. They only took away what I needed to do with my life, friend. I feel you completely with the adulting thing, though. I feel a part of me is kind of anxious about adulting. I word geloof, Sisa. Maar ik zie je cactus is geen mooi. My sister has some baby cacti germinating. So yeah, thank you, friend, for sharing that. Like, share more. What do you think about what I shared with you? What is the career you're doing, and are you actually enjoying it? If you're working a real career now, are you actually enjoying what it is you're doing? Do you find satisfaction in that? Smoke them if you got 'em. Jump in. Thank you for the encouragement. Love you, easy friend. Not even a question, dude. Roll that shit. Yeah. But the time he reads this, I will be halfway through my J. Love you, Meltmore. Tunes even deeper into that J with you, Slav. It feels like a troll. It may be. I have deep depression and anxiety, and weed helped increase my quality of life. I feel like society demonizes weed, and lives are rent free lives rent free in a lots of people's mind that lives demonizes weed, and that lives rent free in a lot of people's minds. There's this understanding that weed is gonna ruin your life. Oh, it's a gateway drug. You're gonna smoke weed, and then you're gonna suddenly want to do everything else. Correlation versus causation is an important thing to consider. The problem to me with the demonization of weed is that it's a fundamentally racially charged issue from the very start, and believing in the demonization of weed is in a weird, convoluted way, believing in the old ways of the demonization of different races as well. So, I'm gonna smoke this next bowl with the intention of embracing marijuana as a medicine on planet Earth, provided Mama Gaia for all human beings to smoke together around the same table, using the same bong. Cheers to you, friends. Skibop. Melting cultural norms. Melting the demonization of weed. Especially since the community. Thank you for all of the kind therapy today. Mm. Thank you for your words, Lydia. Thank you for choosing to say something so beautiful. You could have said anything, friend. Literally anything. And out of all of the anythings you could have said, you said something beautiful. Say something about you, friend. Thank you. I lurky second. Lolo. Thank you, Jojo, for joining us always. Present. Present within the lurk. Lurks within presence. Cannot lurk anywhere else after all. Love to you, friend. You know me, sister. I ain't a troll. Definitely not. Yo. The smoke. I don't know. No, I won't be able to show you, but the smoke is weirdly settling on the grass. Like there's some stillness in the air right now. Kind of like it. Your company is soothing. Birds chirping in the background. Life flowing through us as individuals, to us as individuals, from one another to one another in an infinite give and take. All we now have to realize is that we can't win. There's no winning, there's only being. You're not loving in order to win, you're loving in order to love. Ganja, ganja, ganja. If you nama want to call it that call it Samanila. Says Sensamilla. Sensamella? Sen. That's like seedless, I believe. If you now want to call it, they call it marijuana. If you not want to call it that indica. I'm getting brain damage from saying please, dude. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get like politically corrected by something or something, you know. Twitter. I was gonna slam down. Go Holland, Netherlands, skills must. Thank you, I'd love to. There's no winning or losing, only melting. And you don't melt for a reason either, right? You melt more because you can melt more, and you can melt more. You can into infinity. Right here, the center point of the infinity. It's a whole trip. Every single one of us are that, you know. And it's I had this whole conversation with Christian, where within this mindset of winning and losing, or you know, somehow winning this experience, there is this interpretation that some of us are better than other ones of us, that some of us are more evolved than others, that some of us are old versions of ourselves and we are new versions of ourselves. And there's a sense of linearity that we try to form within that whole understanding again. But infinity is not linear. Is no linear. Oh goodness. You're not ahead, you're not behind, you are here, smack dab in the middle of the infinity. Gateway process. Love you too, Fred. Thank you so much for joining us here. 'Twas my time hearing the song from Crash Test Dummies called Hmm. And holy smokes, that chorus is addictive. Lol. Is it the one you just sent? It is pretty tasty. I would like to hear it so I can actually try and sing it. Where are you? I'm in South Africa, Mr. Miracle. Thank you for joining us. Okay, I'm going to bed. I'm saying bye to Meltmore. Let him say hi in 16 minutes ago. 14 minutes ago. I mean, it's basically 16 minutes ago. She she's clairvoyant. Slav knows things before they happen. South Africa. He takes some time to get through the comments. Yeah, it's like I'm all the way here in South Africa, so it takes me a while to get all the way to your comments. Surely that's why I take so long. It's not my incessant willingness to dive deep into all of the fractals my mind presents. No, that couldn't be it. Yeah. Am I disconnected? No. It's the kids who are wrong. Such an underrated song. I need to hear it now. I need to hear it. Send me the name of the song, please. I mean, but send it to me with the artist name so I can go and like type it into my search engine, please. Thank you for the love, Ninja. I appreciate that, Mrs. Peach. When they're full size, I'm going to get them fitted mushing harnessed and have them pull me on a bike or a longboard. It's going to be bitchin'. Oh goodness. Gob? Gob, please, dude. Please. You know, like you think you think someone can't become even larger in your head, in your mind space, and then someone goes and says something like he's gonna train his dogs, give them little mushy harnesses that, you know, distribute the pulling mass over a larger surface area of their bodies. And then he's going to go for rides, you know, take his dogs on runs slash walks while being on wheels himself. That's too badass, dude. That is way too badass. That's pretty bitchin', I must say, man. I totally agree. I hate the stigma. I can't deny that I feel anxious and wouldn't do it at work, but I think I've been smoked for all half my life, so going sober for this moment of time is nice change. There we go. I still want to smoke sometimes though. I feel balance, friend. That is the thing that we should really kind of find within all of these things. It's just balance. Caffeine, in and of itself, isn't bad. Drinking caffeine 6, 8 times a day, that's bad. Marijuana isn't in and of itself bad. Smoking all day, every day, that might be bad. It's about balance. And I applaud you, friend, for making that shift. And I think that is the thing that's truly valuable as well, is that you got to experience, as you said, for half your life, a certain experience of smoking weed. And now you get to experience this part of your life, not smoking weed. And you get to experience both. And you're going to get to experience even more than just that. So I'm happy that you get to have this experience, friend. Fruit Cup is just eating handfuls of yogurt right now, as adorable as she is. Handfuls of yogurt. I mean, they are the ultimate utensils. Oh, goodness. That's so beautiful. I'm just imagining myself as a baby, and I have yogurt in front of my face, and I have two hands. I'm like a being. I'm like just beingness in this world. And I peer into this existence, and attached to my beingness are these five fingered appendages. And I can just take these appendages and put them into this visceral. My mind is melting. Fruit flavored milk goo, and then I get to put it in my face, and I'm like, yes, this is amazing. It's so good. Thank you for sharing that imagery, dude. Brother Corey, how beautiful, right? In this air, in this feeling of celebrating Louis' death, celebrating his life, technically. Also seeing Little Fruit Cup, coming into the world. What an experience, dude. Yo, what a fullness. So bitchin'. Dog carting is so bitchin'. We have triple bitchin' at this point. Maxine saying, have you seen the harnesses that they're making that looks like night suits? Made with metal and leather, uber bitchin'. Actual night suits for your doggos. Oh goodness. I'm just now clicking that is probably going to be what's gonna happen, right? Eventually, we're all just gonna be like uber customized cyberpunk human beings, uber customized in our virtual realities, uber customized in our physical realities. If you want to be, obviously you don't have to be, but also then uber customizing our doggos, dressing them in freaking night suits with metal and leather. Just imagine, you go grocery shopping, but you're wearing a night suit, and your dog is too. Why not? Why not? Doesn't have to be Halloween to dress up, after all, right? One day I will start simple. Yes, Gob. I can see it, dude. I can already see it. Gob is going to sometimes dress as the actual god of war. Full harness, full paint, full jacked as fuck. Just buying himself yogurt, buying himself some fruit and vegetables, gently holding his cart, giving right of way to the old lady that wants to pass him. Oh, sorry, ma'am. See someone with a little bit less stuff in their cart than he has, so he gives them the spot in the line that he was standing in. Here you go. The God of War. Oh, here you go. Oh, so much love to you, Gav. I think I had an unhealthy relationship with weed in the past. I needed to do everything. Like I wouldn't hike, watch a movie, eat, do anything because I'd say I do it better high. Now I just smoke once a day, usually before reading slash bed. That sounds amazing. And I feel that is actually what God meant when he meant with the habit as well, where it becomes this, but first, oh, I'm gonna do something, but first, wait, let me do, and it's not, you don't want to feel like that sometimes, it's not something that serves you. Thank you for sharing that as well, for making us all aware of that a little bit, Eden. I feel better for it, less anxiety slash panic attacks, and I actually enjoy it. That Just the fact that you can enjoy the experience instead of kind of dreading it, but still doing it because it's familiar, and then not liking it. Yeah, she's exploring and learning sensory experiences, disgusting and messy, but learning. She is. She just is. There's nothing else than her beingness. Uranus. Yes, it's not much better than Uranus. It's 100% better, dude. I mean, it's kind of like sounds that like urine then, but urine I think has less graphic imagery than an anus. Let's just that a bit. Yeah, all of us have anuses. Congratulations. Can we please gently rest this joke to rest? Ah, na, na, na. You know, someone digs a hole to the side, puts it in the hole, puts a flower in. Okay, let the joke sleep, friend. Let the joke be. Merge back into infinity. Grateful to share space with y'all as we are to share space with you too. Thank you, Bethany, for the love, my friend. It's always such a beautiful pleasure having you here on P. Love is true. Thank you for sharing yours with us as well. Sativa makes my anxiety go into hyperdrive, and I get way too weird. Indica does help with the pain as well as helping me into deep sleep. There we go. I haven't really had access to surefire indica weed, unfortunately. I quit 3 weeks like a month ago. I quit for 3 weeks like a month ago, I'm guessing. Quitting taught me that there are times I smoke and it's medicine, that's like once and twice a day, but then after that it's using to escape. I feel once or twice a day is kind of like the plot, like the place I'm finding myself as well. You know, on these streams I'll do it multiple times because I almost feel like it's a wave we're riding together, where I tune in, and since you're tuned in, we tune in, and then we tune in, and then we tune, and we're still technically in tune right now, so we haven't tuned out, but we're tuning even more in. Turning knobs on the universe. Every single one of your minds is a knob of the universe. The entire universe as you. Kira Burb, our sunshine sister, joining us as well. Thank you for sharing some time, friend. 10 hours later. So, my use pattern was heavy usage from 16 to 25, then slowing down from 26 to 33, meaning going a day without smoking and just do a bowl at night. After every test I failed, I would smoke and play video games. So, I felt I needed to see if there's going to be a text limit because now I don't know the rest of your story. I'm sorry, friend. I feel where you were going though. You know, it was an escape, and it's almost like you had to, like, it was an escape from the pain you were feeling, but you knew you could escape from the pain you would feel. So taking that escape away, the pain became more real, and you maybe had more of an incentive to study harder. I feel that completely too, friend. Thank you so much. Exactly. I had convinced myself that life was much more beautiful high. Then weed heightened my life experiences, but now I've learned to see the beauty without it. I can actually enjoy weed more. Exactly. Weed should only be, I feel for me especially, an intention enhancer, not an experience enhancer, because the experience is pretty enhanced always. You know, the experience is very beautiful no matter in what state of mind you're in. But tuning into how beautiful it is, you know, from a place of sobriety, and I feel meditation is helping do that more than anything. Then when get to smoke some weed, there's even more depth, even more beauty in that. So much this. When I tried quitting, I wasn't doing well at all, not from an addiction standpoint, but I was not happy, and depression can rob that from you. It definitely can. Everyone's path in adulting looks different, not fit for the retail corporate world, manifesting my success with my strengths, fating my heart out. Keep showing up. Keep show up. Keep show up. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. I just see every single keep showing up I'm saying is another day that Maxine is herself in the universe, making art. And Maxine is going to be herself in the universe forever, right? So for forever, she can show up and make art. And then I just see Maxine's soul, Maxine's, willingness to love, Maxine's ability to manifest, grow, and power, magnificence alongside her art in the same capacity. We're gonna pull a card. I'm probably gonna go get a light, and then we're going to dance our hearts out. Sharing love. Friends, dry story, and I see you. What's going on? Having some chats. A23. It's nice to have you here with me. Shootco. Even Zenoa. So cool having you here, dude. Love to you. Thanks for seeing me melt. You make me feel connected with the concentrated amount of time you spend on these comments. You're doing some amazing work here. It is very therapeutic to hear you speak my words and then conjure up your thoughts. Thank you for seeing me, friend. It's a it's a weird mirror that I'm providing with these streams. And that is fundamentally what it is, right? It's me showing up for love. Love being the truth of the world for me showing up for that truth as a reflection of the universe, something in the universe that believes in something, that something being love. You being here with me, having that love reflected back to you. It's you, friend. It's you seeing yourself. I love you, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying something so beautiful. Like I wanna, yeah. Thank goodness it works. Screenshot that shit, thank you for the love, friend. Lindsay is here with us as well. Mel, glad I caught you, friend. I have so much love for you. It isn't even funny. Hope you're well, buddy. I'm so well. Thank you for the love, friend. Thank you for the calm. I love the love that you feels. The amount of love in this space, right? Like not only like if I am but a small human and I can feel this much in this moment. And then let me see right now. 47 is the number it tells me. 4 friends on the YouTube. So at least like I trust YouTube's numbers. I don't know if more is the right answer, but I trust YouTube numbers because the friends have to directly come here to find the space. 5 right now with Brother Dan joining us. So 6 friends, definitely with just the YouTube. And then it says 46 right now. So 52 friends in this space. 52 human beings feeling things, feeling the depth of love, feeling an experience of one another, seeing one another. It breaks my brain. What is this going to do to us? How is this environment going to cause us to evolve? Really hitting on today's stream topic one more time. We'll pull a card, I'll say thank you, and then we'll dance. Weird is wonderful. I'm so glad I found you, kindred spirits, that allow me to be who I am and that they appreciate who I am. As we do, Corey. Dude, like, as I was reading your comment, and you mentioned that you get to be who you are, it came to my mind like I never thought about that. I never thought about you being you the way that you are. You shouldn't be like that. There was not even a moment in my heart where I was like, yeah, Corey shouldn't have been like that one time. There was just, oh, Corey is right now here in this moment. And we don't expect anything more than that from one another. I'm kind of curious about what card is going to show us today. Ooh. There it is. Not exactly hawks, but they are swallows. This is one of my favorite cards. Swallow the sun. You just have to go and swallow the sun, friend. And after you do, you won't believe what happens. Ah, you're gonna melt more. Swallow the sun and melt more, friend. Literally. Literally. I think so highly of you, Nanners. Just so you know. Thank you for saying that. Exactly. Exactly that, Jovan. Exactly that, right? Not only do we see Corey, not only do we think of as Corey as he hasn't done anything wrong, but within that, We see this magnificent being, someone to look up to, someone to admire. Being yourself. Thank you for being yourself at the Bay. Lindsay says, I was too late to the party to follow the discussion, but it's always nice to take a break from my busy life and be in the space that you've built, Mel. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. You've built this space with me, friend. You've been here for so long. Thank you for joining us right now. All of those times we've been in this now before, it's the exact same now. It's just now, right now, instead of now, then. Thank you for joining me now, friend, for being here. Makes me think of sun eating meditation, where you point your anus towards the sun. I'm sorry. I guess that's what it means, right? We were kind of hitting on the Uranus train today, so I wouldn't be surprised. Swallow the sun. So much love to you, dear sister. Thank you for that, Corey. I'm so soothed hearing a South African accent. Makes me miss home. Top Senator. Interesting username, friend. It's nice to have you here. I'm happy and sad that you're not in South Africa anymore. Sad because it's more difficult for me to reach you. Happy because you get to have an experience that is not South Africa. South Africa as an experience is a full one. Some of it may be harder than others, but I'm sure it's going to get better. Thank you, friend, for joining me. I did pull this card, and I want to read you the meaning of it. Card number 19, Swallow the Sun. Dreams and visions is the core topic. Oh, Lord. Maybe it's good that I missed all the talk about Uranus. Maybe it is. Lynn, we had a friend, like I was talking about the understanding that if we as human beings, instead of just having an ego as this, right? My ego only extends to this little fleshy thing. And I'm only offended if this little fleshy thing is attacked. To expand ego around the entire earth was what I initially said. I like to kind of imagine expanding that ego all the way to the Jupiter, uh, like close to Jupiter, not completely encapsulating Jupiter because and then I imagine this ego, this field extending over the entire planet, keeping it safe, if you will. And then we had a friend tuning in, being like, "Oh, why extend it to Jupiter and not to Uranus?" And I was like, funny. Now you get to at least be like, "Oh, okay, thank goodness." Melt wasn't just talking about anuses this whole stream. Lol, basically, you stare at the sun as it rises. Okay, for a few seconds at first, and then longer each time. It's quite exhilarating. You can do it at sunset as well. I mean, technically, I was doing that today, but fortunately, medical technology for eyes is getting better as well. So these card pulls are so trippy. Every single one of them, Maxine. Tuning in. Chat, tuning in. Tuning into this. Tuning into this place. I'm gonna read right now. Swallow the sun. The sun is celebrated throughout the world as a giver of life, and in some cultures, as a god. Both the ancient Greeks and Romans worshipped one or more solar deities, and in Hindu literature, the sun is mentioned as the visible form of God that one can see every day. Aztec, Incan, and Egyptian traditions all held the sun in godly accord. Whether your spiritual belief, Whatever your spiritual belief, it is clear that our sun represents a psychological principle that transcends time and place. The vibrant geometry of this sun card invites you to explore its symbolism and its ability to illuminate and guide you. Swallows swoop and play in the solar portal, encouraging you to see a light-hearted reflection of your dreams and visions. Dreams, whether in sleep or musings of reverie, will offer clues to your internal process. Visions direct your path and offer a sense of purpose, vitality, and life force. What messages have your dreams offered lately? What progress are you making towards the realization of your vision? Meditate with this card and consider these questions. Do not be hard on yourself. If you are not happy with your progress, realize that when you push too hard, you may actually be resisting the thing that you most desire. Realize and relax with your positive intentions as you bring your finest dreams and visions into this reality. I did put it upside down. The reverse goes, the sky seems clouded, yet you may find peace and clarity of vision within. How about that? Sun gazing increases psychic ability. Suddenly things start making sense. The reason you do it at sunrise slash sunset is because the sun rays aren't so powerful and the risk of damage to the eyes is significantly lower. You build up time as you practice to help reduce the risk, starting with like 5 seconds. Okay. I mean, I do want to kind of establish a pattern of waking up in the mornings to share the sunrises again. I'm sleeping too late these days. Like I'm getting to bed at like 1ish, like after saying my thank yous and stuff. So like getting up at 5 after sleeping at 1 is just not a vibe. And then I won't be able to be as present in these streams if I did that. But I am, especially with the summer rolling around, starting to click closer to the old pattern. Mm. Then after a few days, you go for 6 seconds and you keep doing it until you get a minute. You focus on the sun giving you energy as you return energy to the sun. That sounds like some magic, dude. You don't threaten me of a good time, but you know how I am when I get into stuff, man. This is, yeah, suddenly, Melt just sun gazes every single morning without fail. Like, why is he like that? I don't know, dude. He just doesn't stop. What's wrong with him? Dude, the things I saw after sun gazing were so profound. I had to back away from it. You see, like that's what I'm thinking about, Maxine. It's like I know that's how it gets with stuff like that. And it gets almost a little bit too much. I have to dance. I don't have to anything. I want to dance. I'm going to end the YouTube stream saying, love you, friend. Thank you, Brother Dan, for sending love to Shan too. I'll say goodbye here, and then I'm gonna say thank yous for our beloved Patreon friends, and then I'm gonna dance a little bit, and then I'm gonna say goodbye. See you friends on the other side.